Hello, everybody. Noob here. We're playing some Stellaris, and I'm playing with two of my buddies. I am playing with Red Dragon and Blue. We are playing a cooperative game. So on Commodore, they're not very good. So like we are playing on Commodore. It is cooperative, but that's all good. That's all good. All good things. I'm talking. I accidentally hit the push to talk, but I'm talking to the audience. The whole three that are going to be watching. I was just telling them that this is a multiplayer cooperative game. I was introducing you, Blue, and Red Dragon. You guys are going to be my little allies here, and I am playing a clerk build using habitats. Some of you might know this build. And, well, everyone knows how these games usually start off. They're a little dull. So I'm gonna pass it over to Blue, and he can talk about his empire. Blue, what kind of empire you got going on there?
Well, I just basically took the human started empire, the United Nations, and turned them into fox people. That's all I've done.
So you're not playing a customed?
Nah,
Ah, why aren't you playing customed?
I just wanted to build one faster. I didn't want to build the one that I had.
He wanted to build one faster, but not one that he had.
I'm lazy.
Because he is lazy, ladies and gentlemen. Very lazy. So lazy. But that's all okay. What about you, Dragon? What kind of faction do you have going on over there?
I am a megacorp lithoid necrophage.
Now that is quite the mouthful. What's a megacorp?
It's a business type of empire.
Okay, what can you do as a megacorp that's like different and unique?
I believe people know.
Do they? You should never just assume people know.
I do a lot of assuming in my life.
You should never just assume. So you don't know what a megacorp does? You just kind of.
I'm just balling it. Snowballing it.
Well, like I said, I am playing a merchant build. I'm going to be trying to really just pump out the merchant jobs, getting that trade value up, and I am doing the habitats, for the quick population. I've got pacifist for the Empire Sprawl from Pops, minus 15%, but also the stability, because as everyone knows, Habitats has a problem with eventually having a lot of unemployment, and there'll be a lot of like crime going on, so that stability really helps out. And then I have Fanatic Xenophobe for that pop growth speed of 20%, and then my traits here get that rapid breeders for that pop growth, another 10%. Thrifty, again, just to really try to pump out that trade value. And charismatic, amenities from jobs plus 20%, which also helps with stability. And the reason why I'm going habitats is because when you do habitats, you start with 3 habitats, which means all 3 of your habitats are producing people. So I'm going to be able to get a bigger population quicker and be able to assign them jobs and increase my production. And I'm not going to be a very defensive, or I'm not going to be a very militarized faction, so I am going to want to get these choke points really quick and start building up my star bases. I'm going to be rushing those choke points here pretty soon. And this is on Commodore. The difficulty is on Commodore. Maybe one day we can get you guys some Grand Admiral difficulties, but we're just relaxing, just chilling, showing off our empires. I'm really interested on how Dragon's empire goes actually, because he's a megacorp, which is already a pretty unique government type of government. But he's also using some Necroid stuff, which is the most recent species pack that came out. And he's a lithoid, so he's like an undead rock that deals with businesses and corporations and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool to check out.
Yep, a parasitic rock. Like waiting for that money.
Anomalous readings detected.
Now I did get rid of my fleet just to try to get that energy back and that the alloy back, and then so I got rid of my fleet. And I also, you can notice how my Empire Sprawl is already over the administration capacity. That is because I did get rid of my administrator building. That way I could use those 2 pops to put them into minerals. Because the quicker I grow my minerals, the quicker I'm going to grow alloys. Because you need minerals to make alloys. He has no fleet. Invade him now. Yeah, you can see blue right there. Yeah, he would need to do that now. Only time he's going to be able to take me out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we all see it. We can all read.
No, you can't.
Okay, well, I don't want to offend the illiterate out there, so maybe not all of us can read. If you're illiterate, then I do apologize for your I can't speak and you can't read, so we're kind of on the same playing field here.
Yep, so we got tongues and non-reading. Debilitated, take them out.
Okay, calm down, Kamala Harris.
Situation log updated.
That's a lifestyle. You take that back.
You take that back. Don't you ever compare me to her.
Don't you ever say that again.
Alright, time for me to step in. Take him out, guys. He's crazy. So, Dragon, do you want to tell people why it is that you're a megacorp?
Because it would help me with my trade funds. I can't remember right now what it does, but unfortunately it does lower my space unity.
I'm going to tell you why Dragon is a megacorp. Dragon is a megacorp because he's going to exploit me since I have habitats and build tons of branch offices on my habitats. So Dragon's going to be he's going to be using me pretty much to grow his own faction there.
I don't talk bad about my slaves.
That's what his plans are, guys. That's what it is.
System resources analyzed.
For my traditions here, I am going to go adaptability first, and the reason why I went adaptability first is not only when I adopt the effect, I get the pop housing usage reduced by 10%, which is nice, but what we're really after here is this right here, adaptive ecology. So what that does is it gives me a free building slot. All our planets gain 1 free building slot, Well, since we don't use planets and we use habitats, it gives me a free building slot on my habitats. And how that helps me is I don't have to worry about having that population to unlock these building slots, and we're going to be relying on stuff like that. Because the problem with habitats, again, is the unemployment problem. So a lot of times you'll have unemployment, and you haven't unlocked the next slot to even give them a job. So by picking that up right off the bat, or as soon as we can, I give myself a free building slot without even having to worry about the population, and that way I can keep my people better employed. And of course, later when we actually go to get our Ascension perk, the first Ascension perk I'm going to be getting is Voidborn, because that's going to give me another 2 additional building slots. So with Voidborn and Adaptive Ecology, I get 3 completely free building slots right off the bat that I don't even have to worry about the population on, and that way I can keep all my people employed. And that's going to be the name of the game here, is keeping my people employed for as long as I can for ultimate productivity.
Anomalous readings detected.
Now, the problem with habitats is they are expensive. They're 1,500 minerals. But again, I am pushing my minerals and foundries hard. So I have 1.4k alloys right now. And sorry, I said minerals earlier. I have alloys right now, 1.4k alloys. So here in just a little bit, probably a couple more months, I'm actually going to be able to build my first habitat, and that will make my first habitat I built in only about 8 years. So that's pretty good.
System resources analyzed.
Now, if I really wanted to, I could manipulate the market right here and probably go ahead and push 1.5k. But there it is anyway, so we got our 1.5k. And I'm going to make, again, the name of the game is just making as many habitats as I can. I'm going to find a planet, there we go, that has minerals on it. And I'm actually going to build my first habitat on that mineral planet. And that way, I can get more alloys going. And there it is. And here pretty soon, I'm going to be able to just start spamming these habitats and just really cranking out my production.
Anomalous readings detected. System resources analyzed.
Now, as I've said, I'm going to need to be going for these choke points because I'm going to have to play a defensive game here. The problem is if you don't have good choke points, if they are not close and you're going to have to be doing a lot of building, it might be more worth actually to go for expansion. Because the star base influence cost reduce, it's going to help you on really reducing how much influence you're going to have to spend. Because since I didn't go expansion, I went adaptability. I'm going to have to spend a lot of influence here to get these choke points, but that's okay. That's okay. But if you find yourself like if you're having to build quite a bit of star bases, like let's say like 9 to 10, it might be better to just go ahead and go expansion just to get the reduced starbase cost and then worry about adaptability later. But you're probably going to have a few unemployment problems there in the start of the game. So I'm just really trying to keep me from having unemployment problems. For my technology, I did rush robots. The reason why is because again, we're all about the population. Robots right now can do my mineral, my foundry, I think my foundry, or my mineral and my food. They can collect minerals and food, so I can get my population increased by even more by building robot assemblies on my habitats, pumping out those robots, putting them into mineral and food jobs, and then that frees up my people to do my complex jobs. But later, I'm going to be able to upgrade my robots into androids, and androids can also do electrical and clerk jobs. So it just helps my population overall. And with me booming my population on my habitats here, When Dragon decides to make a corporate pact with me, a commercial pact with me, he's going to have a lot of good population to play with his branch offices. Because as we all know, your branch offices actually rely on the population of the planet that your branch office is on. So with me having a nice population, we should be able to bump Dragon's production pretty good too. Now I am a inward perfection. I am doing inward perfection, and unfortunately, with inward perfection, I can't do commercial packs, but that's okay because once it hits about 2300, I'm going to drop inward perfection because by then I should really have my economy booming, and then me and Dragon are going to be able to do that commercial pack together, and he's going to be able to do branch offices, and it's going to work out very, very well for him. And of course, he's got branch offices that help, my production as well. So it's going to work out for both of us. I think this is going to be a really strong duo between the two of us here. And then there's also Blue, who's who's just there.
Hi, meat shield here. Yes. Hey. No for foxes so far. No one harms foxes. They're cute and adorable.
So I'm going to start using my construction ship here, and I'm going to start trying to take these chokeholds. I'm going to go ahead and take this one now. And then, because this is one big square, I might actually push to this. And then I'm going to take that. And that's going to be awesome, because that's going to give me two black holes. So I'm going to be able to do the mega structure later for tons of minerals. So that's going to give me two black holes to play with, and it's just going to give me a lot of star systems I can play with. So I'm not going to be the biggest empire around, but with being able to build habitats on every planet I own, these star systems are going to be more than enough to really just crank out my economy. And that's what we're going to go for right here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get, you know what, let's do it this way. I like doing it that way. So how I like to do my habitats is this first one I'm building is going to go on a mineral planet to make it a mineral foundry planet, or habitat. And then my next one I'm actually going to either do a energy admin or an energy food. But normally my one habitat here with food, normally that lasts me pretty good for quite a while. So I might make the next one energy admin just to get this empire sprawl back down. Okay, there we go. We've got our first tradition done, and we're getting our first ascension perk. And like I said, we're going to go with Voidborn because habitability plus 20%, which increases stability and happiness and production. And then the building slots is going to be 2. So that's going to be very strong for this build right here. And like a lot of you know, this build was originated by Stefan Anon. I hope I'm saying that right. I am a huge fan of Stefan. I think he makes some of the greatest Stellaris builds ever. If you don't know who Stefan is, I'll probably link him in the description down below. Guy's amazing. I love watching Stefan. I love playing his builds. He comes up with some great builds. I've adapted some of his builds to my own. I like what I do, but I just don't think they're as good as what he did originally. But yeah, if you like Stellaris and you want to learn how to get better with Stellaris, I would definitely recommend watching Stefan Anon. I don't think he gets enough credit for how much he puts into his Stellaris videos. So how's everyone doing? Dragon, you doing good over there? You run into anyone yet?
Nope, I haven't run into anyone. I am increasing my empire's size a little bit, and found a nice Bronze Age civilization, I will be enslaving soon, or becoming forced laborers.
Now, if you're playing Lithroids, do you still get the ability from because you said you're a Necroid Lithroid? Are you able? I don't know how that works out. Are you going to be able to turn those populations into your own population still, or
Yep.
you still would be able to? So how are you a Necroid and a Lithroid? How is that working out? Like, what did you do to do that?
All I did was chose my parents as a Lithloid, which gave me the abilities of the Lithloid. And since the necrophage is not really connected to the species as themselves, it's a origin. So I was able to combine the origin with
Construction complete.
the Lithoids. So boom.
Oh, okay. So there's a origin that does not have the prerequisite that you have to be a Necroid that gives you Necroid abilities.
Yep. So I could literally be a human a human necrophage if I wanted to be, or a reptilian. You can combine with
That
anything
is
you
really cool.
Yep.
That is actually really, really cool. Again, I am excited to see how that build works out. Unfortunately, Blue over their third wheel did not customize his empire. But if you don't know much about this game and you're new to the game and you're just trying to figure it out, maybe Blue can kind of talk about what it is that they have and what's his plans for the empire.
System resources analyzed.
The Empire is essentially like the Federation from Star Trek. They just want to make peace with everyone and form alliances. And I just found another. Oh my God, computer, shut up. I just found another empire right next door to me, and they're immediately protective of me, which is both good and bad.
Why is I mean they're not going to go to war with you. Why is that bad?
Because if they're protective, they may want to try to absorb me into their empire eventually.
Kind of like big brother, little brother. Oh, you're too weak to defend yourself. We'll help you. You just gotta become. I got you. I got you. So what does your species have that makes it good at forming these relationships? Like,
System resources analyzed.
Pretty much a lot of specializing in like diplomacy and envoys.
okay, what I'm saying is like what gives you that? Like, what kind of ethics do you have? Civics? What's your government type?
We're egalitarian, but we're xenophiles.
And what does Xenophile do for you?
We like aliens. But statistics-wise, it just increases trait value, which I don't think actually applies to me here. But it increases the number of envoys I got, so I can send two people out instead of just one to, negotiate.
And envoys are okay. So kind of like in politics, your envoys go and build relationships with other factions.
Yeah, they're ambassadors.
Got you. Okay, so Xenophile gave you extra envoys than what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound really cool.
Yeah, because I believe normally you only start with one.
And I think in this game, before you do, you can. So used to in this game, you could meet an empire, and they would decide if they liked you or not, right? And you could make these trade pacts with them, these research pacts, based off of how much they like you, or even depending on how overwhelming you were to them in that specific regard. If I'm not mistaken, though, now their relationship improves or disproves strongly on how you utilize your envoys. So if you have a faction that like okay like I'm a xenophobe and he's a xenophile, naturally our two factions would normally don't like they wouldn't like each other. But if he were to send enough envoys over to my faction, he could force me to like him essentially, which could work out in his favor because if I was an AI tends to attack people they don't like. So he could force the AI to like him and then not have to worry about them attacking him. Is that essentially what's going on here, Blue?
Pretty much.
That actually sounds like it could be pretty powerful.
Yeah. Because so far my experience with this has always been AI don't like me and then immediately invade me.
All right, so what's the other one that you have there? You talked about Xenophile. You have another ethic, right? What does that do?
I'm a fanatic egalitarian.
What does a fanatic egalitarian do?
It increases how much influence I gain, which means I can like put down uh, the outposts faster, or I can like throw down edicts.
Okay. Do you want a giant empire? Like, does that actually help you in any way?
It'll help me expand faster, yes, but I don't think I can make a giant empire with this because I think I would overstretch too much. Yeah, because I'm only a few systems captured right now, and I'm already almost maxed
System
out on my empire
resources
sprawl.
analyzed.
The other thing the fanatic egalitarian does is also increases my specialist population and resource output by 10%. So I can get
Anomalous
more
readings detected.
And yep, there they are already demanding vassalization of me.
Well, that is very unfortunate. What I would do is I would go ahead and get the star base that's cutting you off and go ahead and start building that bad boy up.
Construction complete.
Unfortunately, they're already overwhelming me, but here goes.
Now, that's actually so weird that they did that. Is that a fallen empire you're next to?
I don't think so.
I've never known an AI empire to demand vacillation so quick. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's a fallen empire.
No, because their technology is only equivalent, their economy is only
Anomalous
superior.
readings
Yep,
detected.
no, that's definitely not a fallen empire.
Yeah.
But even though their fleet is overwhelming, a good upgraded starbase this early in the game should be able to deter them. So I would definitely work on that now.
Yep. Good thing is they only have one route into my territory that I know of right now.
There you go. You got that choke point. I'm a little behind on my choke point, so you know. Okay, guys, I'm getting my next tradition point, and what I'm gonna go. So I went adaptability, right? And the next thing I'm gonna want to go is I am going to want to go ahead and get expansion. And the reason why now is that I'm actually going for that additional pop and that pop growth speed. So those two are going to be very strong with this build. So that's what we're going to go for.
Situation log updated. Construction finalized.
So I have my habitat finished, and I am now colonizing
Concluded.
the habitat. Another little advice, everybody, is if you're doing habitats, you're going to want to specialize them, right? Because they're not like planets. You know, they only have so many resources they can do based off of the planet you're building them over. So a good way to keep up with what you intend that habitat to do is to actually name it after the resource you want it to build. So as you can see right here, I have my first three habitats named Research and CG for civilian goods, Minerals and Foundry, Energy and Food. That way I know when I go to build something, I want to focus those resources. So my habitat that I just finished building and I'm colonizing now, I'm also calling Minerals and Foundry because I want minerals to be produced on there and I want foundries on there for alloys. So that's a nice little hint on how to keep track of what resources you want to do. And I am already at 1.5k alloys again, so I am going to go ahead and build my next habitat. And I want this one to be over a energy one. So here we go. Let's get rid of that. And there we go. My second habitat's now being built, and we are 14 years into this game. So 14 years into the game, and I am building my second habitat already. So you can already see how this is just really going nice.
System resources analyzed.
Now my robots are also finished, so I'm going to go ahead and get robot assembly plants built up here on my energy, food, and mineral foundry. I don't like too much micromanaging, so I am just going to build my robots on planets that already come with resources robots can do. But if you don't mind the micro intensity, then I would go ahead and build the robot assembly plants on every habitat, and then just move the robots to planets where they can do a job. But in my case, once we get like 20 habitats going, I don't want to micromanage that much. So I'm only going to build my robots on planets they can already do jobs on. That much micromanaging is just a little too much even for me.
System resources analyzed.
How you doing in that starbase you're built? You're upgrading there, Blue.
Well, it's built up as much as I can, just waiting for it to finish its modules and defense platforms. But they're already back up in positive relationship with me again, and they've already guaranteed my independence a second time.
System resources analyzed.
Things should, because you do have so many envoys on them, things should work out for you. But yeah, just keep building that starbase as much as you can. Don't want to leave too many things to chance.
Construction complete. Anomalous readings detected. Planetary worksite established.
And there it is. My first habitat that I built is now colonized. And let's see, we are about 30% done with building the second habitat. So it is really kicking off. And again, as you probably saw it earlier, but I did switch my policies. My economic policy is militarized economy, which is going to allow alloys from jobs increased by 15%. That way, my boys working the foundries can make more alloys for me, and that way I can build more habitats quicker. And then my trade policy, I actually switched it to consumer benefits. And that's to kind of counteract the militarized economy, because even though you make more alloys from jobs, you reduce how much consumer goods you make from jobs by a whole whopping 25%. So by switching my trade policy to consumer benefits, every trade value I earn also gives me 0.25 consumer goods. So to try to counteract each other, that's the trade policy I'm going with.
Special inquiry concluded. Setlog updated. build a brighter future. Situation log updated. System resources analyzed. System resources analyzed. Construction complete.
Okay, got my next tradition point. As you can see, I put it in colonization fever. And I didn't get it for the first habitat that I made, but the next habitat I make, when I go to colonize it, after it's been colonized, I will start with one additional pop that I can put straight to work. So that's really good. And then right after that, I'm going to go with a new life, and that's going to increase my pop growth speed by another 10%. So overall, I'll have like a 40% pop growth speed, which is just really nice. This guy is 62% done with this next habitat, so that's really good.
Scientific progress attained.
For this research, I'm going to go with minerals from miners plus 20% because, again, more minerals means more alloys. More alloys means more habitats. More habitats means more everything. Now, as you can see, my amenities are starting to get lower. Amenities directly affects happiness. So the lower your amenities are, the less unhappy your people are. And we did just run into Dragon, or known as Gundam here, but we're going to call him Dragon. He's Dragon.
I'm gonna be dragging it on, alright.
And he seems pretty close, too. So this is going to work out really well for us. Because as it looks, we have no one in between us, so we can definitely help each other and cooperate with each other pretty easily like this.
System resources analyzed.
That's going to be really nice. As I was saying with the amenities, though, so my amenities being low means a lower happiness.
Construction
But again, even though we haven't done it yet, we are a clerk build. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to build a commercial zone to remedy this. A commercial zone is not only going to provide 5 jobs, but every clerk is going to give me 12 amenities and 12 trade value. So I can use commercial zones on my planets to not only keep my happiness up, but to start generating that trade value, which is going to give me energy. So that's what we're going to do right here is we're going to build a commercial zone, get that amenity into the positive, and probably right here too. We're going to build a commercial zone right here and get those amenities into positive, and then we're going to be good on happiness. Ooh, okay, so as we can see right here, one of my scientists actually developed Spark of Genius. So I'm going to be trading him out for one of my scientists working on technology. And with that being done, I now have maniacal for the research speed plus 5%, Spark of Genius, and another maniacal for another 5%. So I have good researchers researching my stuff for me. So this commercial zone's about to finish. We have -6 amenities, and immediately it's finished, and we're already to +6. And there is still 3 more jobs for that. So that worked out very well. And we've ran into the next empire. Wonderful. Okay, so this is actually a fallen empire, which actually works out well. A lot of people get scared starting off by next to fallen empires, but I'm not scared because they aren't going to activate until later in the game. And by the time they're ready to activate, I'm going to be ready for them. So I'm not going to worry about that at all. I'm going to see that as just a deterrent. So that worked out very well for me. So I have Dragon to my northwest there, and a Fallen Empire to my south. So the only thing I would need to worry about is possibly an Empire over here, but I don't think there's going to be one there. So I think we're in a good spot. Okay, now there is an Empire to my north, and it does look like they're spreading quite fast, so it does look like they could come through here. So I'm going to go ahead and start building up this starbase. We're going to be relying heavily on starbases for our defense.
Scientific progress attained.
Another good thing of being a Lithoid right now, with being what I have, almost every planet is acceptable towards me.
Very nice. So you have easier habitabilities.
Yep, everything is a plus 50. I can even almost, right now, I can even almost live on a planet with only a 20.
That's pretty awesome.
In fact, I can live off of planets that are 20.
System resources analyzed.
Due to because I went into adaptability in my traditions.
So you did go adaptability. So as a Lithroid, you already get bonuses for habitability, and then going adaptability also increased your habitability.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds really so not quite as powerful as machines, but close enough to where you can really take advantage of how many planets you can colonize.
Yep. Yep. An ocean world to me is a 20, and here it is over here with a good plus 75%.
So even in ocean world, your rocks pretty much, even in ocean world is still a 20 for you.
Yep.
And see, that's actually really good because later you're going to be able to get technologies to boost that even further. And there's going to be a day to where you could even colonize an ocean world. But of course, as we know, once you get terraforming, you can kind of make it your own planet.
Yep.
It's just crazy to think that a bunch of rock people could colonize an ocean world and be okay with that. Blue, the person you ran into, is it these Saban Citizen Union?
Yep.
Okay, so it seems like this Citizen Union is actually cutting you off from me and Dragon, so we might need to take care of him eventually.
Well, I'm actually tight friends with him now.
Well, I don't care how tight you are. We're going to loosen that up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. We are going to loosen that all nice and deep like.
I just found a system that has 18 minerals, and right next to it is a system with 12 minerals.
Very nice.
Scientific progress attained.
I also found an L-gate.
Okay, so I got my next tradition point. I am putting it into a new life.
Discourse seeding in progress.
I am 2K away from building my next habitat. And I'm probably going to make that a research habitat.
Anomalous readings detected. Construction complete. Anomalous readings detected.
And there it is. I am building my next habitat. 22 years in, and I have 5 habitats and constructing my 6th habitat.
Shitlog updated. Situation log updated. Construction complete. research has progressed.
We're going to grab colony development speed plus 50%. That way we can colonize these habitats even quicker.
Planetary worksite established. System resources analyzed. Construction finalized. Anomalous readings detected.
We've established communications. And I actually do want to be friends with these guys.
System resources analyzed. System resources analyzed. Special inquiry concluded. Special inquiry concluded. System resources analyzed. Anomalous readings detected. resources analyzed. Anomalous readings detected. Situation log updated. Scientific progress attained. Together we will build a brighter future.
Okay, got my calling development speed. Let's go with energy credits from technicians. And get my another tradition point, and we're going to go ahead and put that in starbase influence cost reduced by 10%.
Construction finalized.
We are also researching strike crafts, basic strike craft, and unlock starbase module hangar bait. That is what we're going to be using primarily for our defenses. Strike crafts are very powerful.
Resources analyzed.
So once we get strike crafts on this starbase right here, the starbase should be capable of holding back any fleet that he has, just in case he wants to go to war with me. We are running up on time here, so I'll probably be ending it here soon. And then, hopefully the next episode will be out soon after this one is.
Shift log updated.
I don't want to keep these things too much longer after an hour. This is one of those games where the series just, they're really long. So I do want the episodes to be about an hour, but I don't want to put it too much over an hour. Just because, burnt out playing it, you get burnt out watching it. So expect the next episode. This episode is going to be about an hour, and expect the next episode to be about an hour, and so on and so forth until we finish the series. And as we can see, I'm already getting my administrative offices going. So my Empire Sprawl is now 85 to 80 administration capacity. But once this administration office is complete, then I'm going to be over my Empire Sprawl, and everything is now going to work out.
I'm already over my Empire Sprawl.
I have about 10 under mine, so I'm doing good.
I'm 6 over, about to still go up though.
And we did meet the curators, which is, again, just really, really awesome. We need 2,000 energy, though, to do anything with that. Let's see if we can manipulate the market. And there we go.
Together we will build a brighter future.
Manipulating the market, guys. It is your friend. So once this administrative office is complete, I'm probably gonna save it there, call it there, and then I will hope to see you next time. I just want to end this video with you seeing everything in the positives.
The high notes.
On those high notes, guys. High notes.
Before we all get invaded and wiped out.
Exactly. Coming next episode, everyone dies.
Oh no, not again.
But so far, guys, we are doing really good. Me and Dragon are close to each other, so I don't think we have any worry of invasion. Fallen Empire is kind of protecting my south here, and Blue is actually friends with these guys, so he doesn't have any worry from his south. So he'll just have to make sure he's protected in his other areas. But so far, the game is going really good. Nothing too bad has happened. Again, this is only on Commodore, but I feel like we're in a really good spot here. I feel like everyone's in a really good spot.
When did we get into the middle already?
And there it is, guys. We are now Empire Sprawl 86 to our 92 administration. And we actually have a job still on this planet. So if I move this unemployed guy down to this planet, let's see how that jumps up to. We are 86 out of 103. So now we have a lot of room to grow. I've expanded just about as much as I want to. I think I want to expand right here. But that'll be it for star bases, and we can just keep using this admin planet, or this admin habitat, to keep making administration buildings and making sure our Empire Sprawl stays low. That way we take no penalties, and we are looking really good on resources. We are plus on everything, and now that we have our admin habitat up and running, and our Empire Sprawl is below our administration capacity, now you're going to start seeing some really nice booming, and I cannot wait for that, guys. I will see y'all next time. Later.